Welcome to Physics for Everyone classes. This is your Safisa. So in this video, we can learn a very important topic from two-dimensional motion, which is the projection of the particle on an inclined plane. So let us start the today's topic. So there it has two parts. The projection is taking along the plane, which is in the upward direction. In the second case, it comes particle is projected from the top. There the projectile is coming along the plane but in the downward direction. That we can see in the next part. So here we need to find the three parameters. The one is time of flight. The second is the maximum height reached by the particle during its projectile motion. And the third is the range. What is the horizontal distance covered by the projectile? But all these things we are calculating on an inclined plane, not on the horizontal surface or on the ground. Let us see once. Here you can see OBC. You can notice OBC is the inclined plane which is fixed. The angle of inclination is beta. You can notice beta is the angle of inclination. So from the point O, a particle is projected with initial velocity u, which makes an angle alpha with the base of the plane, inclined plane. So please notice alpha is angle made by the projectile with the ground. It is not with the inclined plane. And to find the angle between the projectile velocity with the plane, directly can take the difference of the two angles. It comes as alpha minus beta. So alpha minus beta is the angle made by the projection velocity with the inclined plane. Clear? What is beta? Beta is the angle of inclination. Alpha is the angle made by the velocity vector with the ground, and alpha minus beta is the angle made by the projectile velocity with the inclined plane. So as this particle is projected, it will follow the one particular path is called as parabolic path because of the gravity. You can see starting it is at O. After some time it reaches the point A. At the end it reaches to the point B. So where the particle finally lands on the inclined plane is named as the point B. So how much time is taken to go the particle from initial point to the final point? The time is called as time of flight. So we need to find the first parameter is also the time of flight. Let us derive the first part. Time of flight. So denoted by capital T. So what is time of flight? The total time taken by the particle to move from the initial point to the final point. Here the final point is the point B, which is on the inclined. So how to get that? So by using the any one of the equation, you can see if I take S is equal to ud plus half at square in one particular direction, you will get the total time of flight. But how to handle this equation, which is important. So you need to take this equation in one particular direction. Suppose if I draw the same thing, this is the initial point, here is the final point. You can see O is the initial point and B is the final point. And here is the projection velocity U, which makes with the plane is, as I mentioned, it is alpha minus beta. Now, our coordinate system should be taken along the plane and perpendicular to the plane. Then this question will be simplified, or we can say we are writing the equations with respect to the person on the plane. You can see a person is standing on the plane and he is observing the projectile motion. So with respect to this person, the x-axis comes along the plane and the y-axis which is perpendicular to the plane. Then you can take this is the y-axis. So we got u makes an angle alpha minus beta with the x-axis. With this we can resolve the velocity into two components. How much is the x component? We have vectors knowledge. Here it comes as the horizontal component of velocity ux is equal to u cos alpha minus beta. How much you got? The initial horizontal component of velocity ux, which is equal to u cos alpha minus beta. Similarly, along y direction, the initial vertical component of velocity, which is named as uy. I can take here uy, that comes as u sine alpha minus beta. How much is horizontal component of velocity at initial? U cos alpha minus beta, and along the vertical direction or along the y-axis, the initial vertical component of velocity uy is equal to u sine alpha minus beta. So is these velocities are constant as the projectile is moving forward? We need to consider acceleration due to gravity part. So as the particle is going from one point to another point, you take any particular point, the gravitational force always acting vertically downward. Wherever you take the particle, maybe it is at point O or A or B, at any point the gravity is acting vertically downward. So here I am taking the gravitational force which is acting vertically downward direction. So G direction is vertically downward. Now this G has been divided again into two components. One along x-axis and other is along the y-axis. Then we can decide how these two velocities are changing. Let us try. The one component is perpendicular to x-axis. The other component which comes parallel to x-axis. You can see here is the one component, here is the second component. So this angle is alpha minus beta. Is it okay? If you take the horizontal line, the baseline, this is the horizontal line, this is the ground, and this is the inclined plane. The angle already given it as beta, right? Here is the beta. If the angle between these two lines is beta, which two lines? Inclined plane with the ground is beta, and between these two lines is also comes as the same angle because these two lines are perpendicular to these lines. And this angle also comes as beta. Now we can easily divide this G into two components, and this component comes as G cos beta, and here it comes as G sin beta. That's it. Along y-axis, you can see, along y-axis, the initial velocity we have. Along the same y-axis, there will be an acceleration due to gravity, but in downward direction. Velocity in upward direction, gravity in downward direction. So what will happen to the velocity of projectile along y-axis? Yes, it will be retarded. Its velocity gradually decreases as it is moving up. There at maximum height, the vertical component of velocity comes as 0 because of the retardation. And very interestingly, you can see along horizontal direction, horizontal in the sense along the inclined plane, because we define x and y axis x-axis is along the plane and y-axis perpendicular to it. So along the x-axis or along the inclined plane, the initial velocity is u cos alpha minus beta. Is it is constant here? No, because there we got g sine beta component of gravitation opposite to x-axis, and this component is opposing the initial velocity. So along the inclined plane also, the velocity of the particle gradually decreases. So what we see here, along y-axis and along x-axis, the velocities of the projectile are gradually decreasing from initial point to final point. So here we are interested to find the time of flight with the help of this equation. So can you say, so when the particle reaches point P, one of the parameter becomes 0. Which parameter? The vertical displacement traveled by the particle becomes 0 when it reaches to point B. When the particle is at A, it covers the maximum vertical displacement. There you can see this is the maximum vertical displacement. If the same particle reaches B, it touches the inclined plane. So the displacement, vertical displacement comes as 0. So directly, we should take this equation along the y-axis. So I'm writing here Sy and Uy, and this is Ay. What is Sy? 0. Because the projectile reaches the point B, where the time taken is capital T, which is called as time of flight, which is equal to, here you can see, Uy. Initial velocity along y direction. How much you got? This one. You can write here U sine alpha minus beta into T, capital T, called as time of flight, plus half. What is Ay? Component of gravity along the y-axis. How much you got? G cos beta, but in downward direction. So when you take U sine alpha minus beta as positive, you should take it as negative. So it comes as negative minus half G into cos beta into T square. If you solve this equation, you will get that time of flight directly. Take this expression to the sign, you will get positive. How much? Half G into cos beta into T square, which is equal to U sine alpha minus beta into capital T. On the both sides, one T get cancelled out, and capital T is equal to 2U sine alpha minus beta divided by G into cos beta. So we got an important result. The first part, T, time of flight, the time taken to go the projectile from O to the point B. 2U sine alpha minus beta by G cos beta. And this can also be represented 2 into U sine alpha minus beta, which is the vertical component of velocity at the starting point. We can write it as Uy. Is it right? Yes, Uy is the initial component of velocity along the y-axis. 2 into Uy divided by G cos beta, the component of gravity along the y direction. So you can write it as along y direction, the acceleration Ay. So in simple way, we write time of flight is equal to 2 times Uy divided by Ay. Nothing but 2U sine alpha minus beta divided by cos beta. A very important expression to calculate the time of flight. Now, we are going to find the range of the projectile on the inclined plane. Let us see. Range means the horizontal distance traveled by the projectile, which means from point O to the point B. How much is the distance covered by the projectile from initial point to the final point B, which is called as the range. Now, we are resolving the vector u not along the inclined plane, because along the x-axis already we have retardation acceleration, which is d sine theta. If I use the x and y coordinates Just we did in the case of to find the time of flight, the equations will become more complicated. So rather using the x and y axis, you resolve this velocity into two components, but along the OC line and perpendicular to the OC line. Because along OC line, along the ground, the horizontal component of gravity becomes 0. So if one of the parameter becomes 0, then the equation will be simplified in a less time. So for finding the range, now we are resolving the velocity u into two components, one along the ground and other is perpendicular to the ground. Let us see how. So this is the ground axis OC. You can see the OC is the ground axis. And then we have the velocity vector u, which makes an angle alpha with the ground axis. You can see already we are taken the velocity of projection makes an angle alpha with the ground axis. So we are taking there alpha is the angle between u and the ground. Now divide this into two components. Along the OC axis or the ground axis, now it comes as horizontal component of velocity is u cos alpha, and vertical component of velocity it comes as u sin alpha. And what is the gravity? The component of gravity along OC line, it is 0. So directly I am writing here AX, which is the horizontal component of gravity, which is equal to 0 along the line OC. So we have got initial velocity. Along the same line, the acceleration is 0. We can find the distance from O to C. But we are interested to find the distance from O to B. So that we can get, once we got the distance from O to C, from this right angle triangle OBC, we can get very easily the range. The first target is to find the distance from O to C. So for that, we need an equation which is S is equal to ut plus half at square along x-axis. So be careful. Already we are taking the x-axis and y-axis along the plane and perpendicular to plane. So rather using the x-axis, you name it as along the ground, or we can say it as along the line OC. So displacement along OC, which is nothing but the distance from OC, and initial velocity along the line OC, and the acceleration along the line OC. How much is the displacement? 0 to O to C, we can take it as OC. The distance is OC, which is equal to initial velocity along the line OC, which we got it as u cos alpha, right here u cos alpha. And the time of flight we got directly can write it as capital T. And acceleration along this line is equal to how much? 0, because you can see the gravity always vertically downward, and the horizontal component along the ground axis, which is equal to 0. And the second term comes as 0, which means O to C distance is equal to u cos alpha into time of flight. And we know T, which we got earlier, substitute. So therefore OC is equal to u cos alpha into how much you got time of flight? Yes, it is 2u sine of alpha minus beta divided by g into cos beta. So the time of flight is 2u sine alpha minus beta divided by g cos beta. After getting OC, how will you get OB? From the right angle triangle OBC, we can write cos theta. Theta means beta here. Cos beta is equal to adjacent side by hypotenuse. Adjacent side is OC and the hypotenuse is OB. Where OB is the range, therefore OB which is equal to R range is equal to OC upon cos beta, which is equal to, we got OC the entire expression, substitute here, finally you will get U square into 2 cos alpha into sin alpha minus beta divided by cos beta is there here, cos beta is there, which means G into cos square beta. So you got the expression range is equal to U square into 2 cos alpha sin alpha minus beta divided by G into cos square beta. You see here, this is not the standard form to remember the equation or to find the maximum range in the latter case. We can rearrange this expression by using some trigonometric equations. This you can see 2 cos A sin B. You can see this I named it as A alpha and alpha minus beta is named as B. We got here 2 into cos A into sin B. So how we can get this format? If he does sin A plus B minus sin A minus B, if you solve it, you will get 2 cos A into sin B. So instead of writing this one, I can write range R is equal to U square divided by G into cos square beta into what I told you, 2 cos A sin B is nothing but sin A plus B minus sin A minus B. So if you take sin A plus B, what is A? Alpha. B is alpha minus beta. So A plus B is nothing but alpha plus alpha minus beta. How much? 2 alpha minus beta. You can write here 2 alpha minus beta minus sin A minus B. A is alpha, B is alpha minus beta. So A minus B means alpha minus of alpha minus beta. Alpha will get cancelled. You'll get minus of minus beta is beta. So how much? So instead of taking 2 cos alpha sin alpha minus beta, I rearranged it as sin of 2 alpha minus beta minus sin beta. So this is the most general expression for the range when the projectile is projected up along the plane. So looking, this is a big expression, but if you practice 2 or 3 times, then you will get this equation will be familiar to us. While dealing the questions in the examinations, we have only 1 minute time to complete the equation. For the NEET and for the mains, you will find nearly 2 minutes. So once you got the result, once you remember the result, it is only the thing putting the given values in the equation and find the result. So in physics, always the important thing is that after deriving some expressions, it is very important to remember the result, where, when we have to apply this formula to the given question. So you got the expression, check, range is equal to U square by G cos square beta into sin 2 alpha minus beta minus sin beta. So please remember this formula. The next thing is that when you will get the range maximum, so what is the condition for it? So how much the alpha value for to get the range maximum? Let us see once. So take a pause and write all the things. So our next target is to find the maximum range with this expression. When the range comes as R max. How much the expression you got? You see, U square constant. For a given projectile, initial velocity is constant. Beta is the angle of inclination, which has also been fixed. So these two parameters are constant. G, of course, it is a constant. And beta terms, which means that by changing the angle alpha for a particular angle alpha, where you will get the range becomes maximum. So maximum or minimum in physics we can find by using the differential equation. So instead of using that, by looking the things here, if whenever sine of something, if it comes maximum, if it comes, this is maximum, this is ultimate value, from this we are removing something. So whenever we make this term is maximum, always you will get the range is also maximum because the remaining things are constants. So our main focus is only on the first term, which is sine 2 alpha minus beta. We need to make this term as maximum. As you know, in sine, you will get the maximum value when the angle comes as 90 degrees. So when the range becomes as R max. So as I told, this term becomes, if this term becomes maximum, you will get the range is maximum. So when you will get this term is maximum, yes, we know the sine of the maximum value you will get when the angle is, when theta is equal to 90 degrees. So directly you can write the condition for R max is 2 alpha minus beta, which is equal to 90 degree or pi by 2 radians. With this you will get alpha is equal to pi by 2 plus beta whole divided by 2, or we can write it as pi by 4 plus beta divided by 2. So we got for an angle alpha, which is equal to pi by 4 plus beta by 2, you will get the horizontal distance traveled by the projectile or the range becomes as maximum. So you got the condition, and take this condition here in this general equation, you will get the expression for the maximum range. Let us see. Therefore, R max is equal to u square divided by g into cos square beta into sine of 2 alpha. There you can see 2 alpha is equal to pi by 2 plus beta. There minus beta is taken to this side, 2 alpha, which is equal to pi by 2 plus beta. There you can write pi by 2 plus beta, which is 2 alpha, minus beta, minus of sine beta. So plus beta minus beta, these two will get cancelled out. And the left part is sine pi by 2. How much? 1. So 1 minus sine beta. So you will get u square divided by g into cos square beta into 1 minus sine pi by 2, 1 minus sine beta. You can see the term cos square beta, cos square theta. We can write it as 1 minus sine square theta. If we does u square by g into 1 minus sine square beta, and in the numerator we have 1 minus sine beta. A square minus b square. We can write it as a minus b into a plus b. With this 1 minus sine beta will get cancelled, and finally you will get, so you can write u square by g into 1 minus sine beta into 1 plus sine beta. So what it did? A square minus b square, it is written as a minus b, 1 minus sine beta into a plus b, 1 plus sine beta into, in the numerator we have 1 minus sine beta. There you can see 1 minus sine beta, 1 minus sine beta get cancelled out. And the remaining part is, so we got R max is equal to u square divided by g into 1 plus sine beta. So you got the result for maximum range, how much? u square by g into 1 plus sine beta. So here in this concept, for finding the range, we have got three important things. One is the general formula for the range when the projectile is thrown up along the plane, which is constituted u square by g cos square beta into sine 2 alpha minus beta minus sine beta. For which angle of projection with respect to ground, nothing but alpha, you will get the range maximum. The second result is where alpha is equal to pi by 4 means 45 degree, pi by 4 plus beta by 2. If you take alpha in general equation, you got R max is equal to u square by g into 1 plus sine beta. If you notice, for finding the time of flight, we are using the reference x-axis along the plane, y-axis perpendicular to it. But for finding the range, we changed the reference, that is the normal ground, normal earth axis is taken as the x-axis. It is named as OC line. You can see OC line is along the ground, With respect to this axis, we have done for finding the range equation. So you see, when you are dealing any equation, if one of the parameter comes as 0, so it will be very easily we can solve the question. That what we did in case of time period where the vertical displacement is 0. Then in the case of range, we did the horizontal component of velocity along the x-axis is 0 by resolving the velocity along the ground and perpendicular to the ground. And the last part is to find the maximum height. Let us see that out. Finding the maximum height. There you can see when the projectile reaches from O to A, there this point comes as the maximum point with respect to inclined plane. And this distance from here you can see the point on the inclined plane to the point A, this distance is called as the maximum height. And we need to find that. So here also we need to consider the x and y axis. The x axis along the inclined plane and y axis is perpendicular to the inclined plane. And by resolving the u again along x axis and y axis, you will get the maximum height result. Now tell me, initial velocity along the y axis, we did it before. So this you can take it as uy. Initial component of velocity along y-axis. How much? U sine of alpha minus beta. And along the y-axis, the acceleration is equal to g into, how much you got? G into cos beta. These things we did in the time of flight. Directly I'm using here. So ay, which is equal to the component of gravity, g cos beta, which is opposite to the y-axis in the downward direction. By using these two, to find the displacement, we go with the equation v square minus u square is equal to 2as. These all things along y-axis, you can write along y-axis. Vy, the vertical velocity at the maximum height. To find the displacement is equal to maximum height. How much it is? At the highest point along the vertical direction, velocity is 0 along the vertical direction. 0 minus uy, you got here. So u of sine alpha minus beta, uy square is there. So uy square, u square and sine square you can write, which is equal to 2 into, what is ay? Yes, it is g cos beta. If you notice, g cos beta is in downward direction. So please take negative to this one right here, minus of g cos beta, because we wrote uy as positive directly. Minus is there in the equation. We haven't done anything sign convention for u square. Even if you take plus or minus, if we scale it, you will get the positive. But when you take upward as positive, downward things comes as a negative with the sign convention. So minus you take, and displacement from bottom to top, you can take vertically upward is taken as positive. Directly you can take h is positive. And negative negative get cancelled. You will get maximum height is equal to u square sine square alpha minus beta divided by 2 into g into cos beta. Or you can write it as what is u sine alpha minus beta? Uy. So simply you can mention it is uy square divided by 2 into what is g cos beta? The component of gravity along y-axis. Name it as ay. So in simple terms, for to remember, you can write maximum height as uy square divided by 2 into ay. Later we can replace what is uy, u sine alpha minus beta, and what is ay, which is g cos beta. So from this, you will get the maximum height here in this case. So far we have done time of flight, range, and maximum height reached by the projectile when it is thrown on the inclined plane. The plane angle is beta and angle of projection is alpha. In the next video, we can see some numericals related to this concept. Thank you.